Hello again, Gills fans, and welcome back to an extra edition of Gills in the Blood TV this weekend. Coming off the back of the excellent 1-1 draw at Bristol Rovers, which finished about half an hour ago. Looking forward to seeing the footage from Dave later for the Match Day Live. But for now, this episode includes the thoughts of myself, Boz, Stocky and Dave himself, as we give our votes for the Gills Player of the Year for 2017-18. A few honourable mentions and our picks. So I'll kick things off. A few honourable mentions first, as I say. Thomas Holy, Luke O'Neill, Gabby Zakuani and Max Amar probably all been in the running. They formed what has been a much stronger defensive unit for the entire campaign on the whole. We've looked a lot better than we did last season when, quite frankly, we were an absolute car crash defensively. Further forward, Mark Burns grown and got better and better as the season's gone on, I think. Started adding goals to his game now, which is really good. Obviously, we all remember the absolute howitzer at home to Bristol Rovers back in December, and also his curler against Shrewsbury, which earned us a point in the winter. Two excellent strikes, two very different strikes. Mr. Consistency, does all the donkey work, does all the unseen work, which is great to see. And probably Josh Parker, who arrived to much ridicule when he joined the club about 18 months ago. I did say, though, in a Facebook Live in the summer that he would get to 12 goals this season. And Dave said pretty shortly after that he thought Tom Eves would get to 15 goals. So, Josh Parker, please get one more, otherwise I won't hear the last of it from Dave. So, yeah, that's my honourable mentions. But in terms of my choice for Gills Player of the Year, it is going to be this man coming up on your screen right now. As you can see, my choice for Player of the Year is the big man up front, the big Scouser who arrived in the summer from Yeovil, had only scored 4 goals for a poor Yeovil side in the division below, and plenty of Gills fans thought, was he the right man to replace the goals of a certain Cody McDonald? Well, he's got 15 of them, around about 25% of all goals that we've scored in all competitions, and for that reason, my Player of the Season for Gillingham 2017-18 is Thomas Eves. Was an absolute pleasure to talk to him back in January with the lads. Scores all types of goals, headers, left foot, right foot, poachers goals. We remember his strike at Plymouth in December, really good volley from about 25 yards out. Works hard, runs the channels, runs himself to a standstill. Got off the boil slightly towards the end of the campaign, much like we have as a side. But for me, he's been first class in all that he's done. So that is my choice, Thomas Eves, Player of the Year. I will now let you move on to the choice of Stocky, and his Player of the Year is...
Good afternoon, Gills fans. Just registered my vote for the Club Player of the Year 2017-2018 on the website, and my vote went to Gabriel Zakuani. For me, he's been the most consistent performer in a team that started and ended the season in a poor run of form. Even games we've been defeated, however, we've lost them more due to a lack of attacking creativity rather than any mistakes or errors made in the defence. As a defence, we've improved a lot from last year. We've managed to keep 10 clean sheets so far with 2 games left, whereas last year I believe we only kept 2 or 3. And I think the signing of Zakuani was one of the real reasons why we've done that. You know what you're going to get with him, whereas you've got players like Amar that are comfortable with the ball at their feet. Zakuani is just going to be the type of person that puts the ball into rose head, clears it out for a throw, just knocks it out anywhere, and he asks questions later. For me, the only thing missing so far is a lack of goals, but I'm sure they're going to come next season. He's good in the air, so from corners, from free kicks, with the delivery of O'Neill and Garmston and Riley. I think next season, if he doesn't manage to get on the score sheet in the next 2 games, hopefully he'll grab a few next season. For me as well, potential future captain there. I know Lee Martin's a skipper at the moment, but I can see him being a good club captain. He's got the experience, seems to lead well, and he's also improved the form of others, players like Max Amar and Thomas Holy, who are also in the running for Player of the Year. He's improved them as well. So for me, that's another reason why my vote goes to Zakuani, because not only has he improved the defence, he's improved other members of the team in general.
Cheers for that, Stocky, mate. Appreciate you doing that. So that's his choice. Next up is Boz, and his pick for Player of the Year for 2017-18 is coming up on your screen now.
Hello, Jules fans. It's been a while. Before get down to the business end, thanks for all your well wishes and all your positive messages. Really appreciate it all. Hopefully I'll be back for the Plymouth game. If not, it will be next season. So Matt's asked me to do a quick one just about Player of the Season. Personally, I voted for Luke O'Neill. I think if you'd asked me in January, it would have been Holy, Eves. I think they were running away with it then. Whereas now, I think you've got A-Miles in there as well. I think Byrne, Zakwani too. Luke O'Neill gets it for me simply because of the goals he's created. I think it's Portsmouth he made a brilliant tackle as well to stop them going 2-0 up. Defensively solid, going forward just as solid. I think, you know, for a free transfer, he's up there. I think we could do a lot worse. He's been the most consistent for me. I think whereas Eves has probably dropped off since January, he's been the most consistent. So yeah, Luke O'Neill for me. Thanks for all your messages again, and see you next time.
Cheers to the Bosman for doing his vote as well. Great to see him back on the vlog, although not live, but just great to see him again. And as he says, hopefully he'll be fit for the final day of the season. If not, we'll try and get him patched up for the World Cup and then pre-season. Last but not least is Dave, and his choice for Gillingham Player of the Season is coming up on your screen now.
Hi there, I'm Dave Miller at True Blue Jock, just giving you some thoughts as to my views on the Player of the Year this year. For me, there are 5 candidates worthy of mention. Thomas Holy, Tom Eves, Byrne, Zakwani and O'Neill. We'll start with what we call honourable mentions. Byrne, can't fault the man's work rate, you can't fault the man's effort. Busy, hard-working player, and when we're playing well, he makes us tick. Little buzzing around, just passes the ball well, and I think he recycles possession well. Also scorer of 2, probably the best goals we've seen this season. The Bristol Rovers one was absolutely sublime. So I think if I was Mr. Lovell, I'd be trying to extend his contract. Gabriel Zakwani. Our defensive issues last season were plain to everybody to see, and I think Zakwani's come in, and the partnership he and Ema have established has been fantastic. Assured, comfortable on the ball. A lot of players call him the wall. Brave, a proper defender. Similarly, I know he's 32, but alongside Max Ema, I think he's helped to make Max a better player. And again, I'd like to see him extended for another season or 2. Luke O'Neill. How long have we said at Gillingham we need a good right back? I can't remember the last decent right back we've had. Luke O'Neill, I thought, has done very well this season. He's obviously been in and out of a few knocks, a few injuries. Brilliant going forward, very good delivery of a football. Dead ball specialist, scored a great free kick. But he can also defend, and he can also play as part of a 3. So a very good signing, and I think Luke's had a very good season in what's been a very tricky season. Now on to the 2 standout candidates for me. Firstly, Tom Eves. Pre-season fans were going, why are we signing a player who has got terrible goals to game ratio? Well, clearly these people had no idea about Tom Eves' history, what Tom Eves can bring, and never seen Tom Eves play. The man, good feet, strong, good in the air. and I'd seen him play a couple of times, and he was simply unplayable. You get a fit Tom Eaves at this level, he's going to rip it up. I'm going to blow my own trumpet. I called it. I said he'd get 15 goals. He's got 15 goals. And imagine if he'd played week in, week out, no injuries, no suspensions. And imagine if he had great service and better service, and maybe a partner up front along sort of mantle of Cody McDonald playing off him. I think next season we're going to have the best of Tom Eaves, and I still think that Tom could play at a high level. The other standout candidate for me is Thomas Holy. In my mind, he's Player of the Year. Myself and Matt watched the Patro Ison game, and it was clear then that he was going to be number one. We did have some concerns, but Tom has totally and utterly blown us out of the water with his performances. Thomas has been outstanding. Shot stopping, I think he saved most saves this season. His command of the area has improved, his distribution's improved. It must be tough coming from a foreign country, learning the language, playing in a 46-game league. He's never done this before. And I think in recent weeks you've seen a young man become tired, and I think that's why we're now seeing him rest and Tom Handler being given a go now that we're pretty much safe. He's not quite the finished article yet, but I think this kid's going to be some player. And I think also, while we're talking about Thomas Holy, massive credit to Glenn Johnson, who has improved as a coach. His coaching has improved Thomas Holy. Fantastic. The kid's been fantastic this season. So Glenn, well done. So we imagine where we would have been without Tom Eaves' 15 goals and Thomas Holy's saves. So those are the two standout candidates, but Thomas Holy for me is the one who just shades it.
Nice in-depth analysis there from Dave, which was great. Cheers, buddy. Looking forward to your match day live later today. So yeah, that's everybody's votes. 4 different ones, which is good. I'm sure all you watching will have different opinions on it. As always, please keep doing the usual. Comment down here somewhere in this box on YouTube. Comment on Facebook and Twitter. Let us know your thoughts, who your picks were and why. Yeah, thanks for watching. And until next time, up the Gills.